All right, hello, and welcome to it's either our fifth or our sixth. I honestly lose track at some point, but we have the Minnesota Mamoswine coming off a win, I believe, versus the Wooper Scoopers coming off of a loss this time. So we'll see here, can Minnesota Mamoswine will remain undefeated with their classic NDD Iron Crown strategy, or will Scoopers be able to get a win here, starting with two Psychic Resists. So it looks like they were paying attention a little bit here about the Psychic start. Um, Now I don't know if any of these Pokemon have like different coverage moves. I'm not like the most versed on Iron Crown and Deedee. And Deedee I don't think has like almost anything for this at all. Iron Crown might have like I don't know like a dark move I could see. I think it has like Focus Blast, which I mean do something against Corviknight. Also pretty risky drawing Focus Blast, but yeah. So I say a pretty good lead by the Scoopers here. Or should I call them the Woopers? The Woopers, the Scoopers. One of those two. But yeah, I think they're either free to set up like a nasty plot here if they want to get a little greedy, or just start firing off. You can do like a Shadow Ball's a little risky with a DD on the field, so we see a Terra Psychic helping hit. Are they just gonna go for it? It seems they did, and insta died to Shadow Ball and then taunted. Yeah, that's about the worst turn one that you can get, unfortunately. And we see a Mirror Armor comes back on that Intimidate, so dropping the Landorus attack just Ooh, that's a really rough start for the Minnesota Mamoswine here. Your Indeedee's pretty much useless if it's a support Indeedee. Your Landorus is now much worse, and you've lost one of your main attackers. But the game's not over yet. Rough turn one doesn't mean the entire game's over. You do have Landorus against Goldango, who Goldango doesn't really appreciate that. Now with that attack drop on Landorus, you might not one-shot Goldango, we do see a swap into Ogrefon Wellspring, Shadow Ball going into that. Slots are predicting that switch, and yes, Tommy is not going to pick up the kill because of that. Intimidate Braver doing not a ton to Landorus, but Corviknight didn't really take much back, and these Pokemon on the field can't do much to it as well. Also, I do see that Goldango went first. Is that Scarf? It's not. No, it certainly is Scarf. So that is Scarf Goldango to outspeed probably the Iron Crown, honestly. I think Iron Crown is faster than Goldango base. That's probably why the first play was made there, thinking that you're faster. You just try to get off an expanding force. Um, but yeah, the correct prediction by the Wooper Scoopers to just immediately take it out. We do see a swap into Chansey. It's two physical attackers is scary. Oh my goodness. I'll see a Spiky Shield's gonna hurt Corviknight here. But the left nerve is gonna heal half of that back. But wow, Chansey taking 25% from what is that Life Orb? Yeah, that Life Orb doesn't that thing have like 10 defense? I guess its HP is just so massive. It doesn't matter. Um, I wonder what this Chansey is gonna do here, though. It's always been kind of the problem with Chansey is that yeah, it's a massive tank, but like Toxic Stalling isn't that great in doubles. So we see a Rock Slide coming out and doing not a ton. Bravebird's gonna hit Indeedee this time, and a Rocky Helmet, and with Bravebird Chip, and Stealth Rock is going to hit the field. Oh, that's a little interesting. They only have one more Pokemon, but yeah, that'll stop them from just swapping for free. So Pokemon here are probably going to stay now, with the Pokemon being pretty low at this point. But yeah, with this Landorus, now kind of trapped with this attack drop. I'm unsure how they're going to get around. Oh, you know what? I stand corrected. They are going to swap and take that, you know, Stealth Rock's damage, Body Press going into Indeedee, and Seismic Toss as well. I think it's going to be a 2 Rocky Helmet proc, so Indeedee getting a lot of value out of that Rocky Helmet. It's done like at least like 60 some percent at this point. But even still, there's still two massive tanks on the field that you only get rid of one of them with Ogre Bond. So you follow me, comes out, Ivy Cudgel is not going to pick up the KO on Corviknight, but he's going to KO himself with Brave Bird into the Rocky Helmet, and Soft Boiled is going to come out to put the Chansey almost back up to full HP. So we'll see if Goldango comes out here again, or if another Pokemon does. We're going to see another Intimidate. Probably just going to hit whatever hits the field here. Yep, so Intimidate is going to hit Urshifu Rapid Strike. Now he's going to ignore that with his Surging Strike, but with Ogerpon Wellspring on the field, it's a little risky to go for that Surging Strike because you are just going to heal it with, that Follow Me Water Absorb. So it's looking a little dire for yeah, there is the Water Absorb. I don't think it hits 3 times. No, it doesn't. Earthquake is going to come out to do quite a bit of damage to everything on the field, and Thunderwave is going to paralyze Ogerpon. But yeah, so I think the Scoopers, they're predicting he's not just gonna immediately go for the most obvious option there, and well, he did. Sometimes it's just better to click the button that's gonna work. So if you see if that happens again, because this Urshifu could be banded. If it is banded, that's really bad because now you have to get rid of this Ogerpon with either a swap or just hope that Chansey can pick up the slack while you're healing it. So we do see no Follow Me coming out. It might be banned as Surgeon Strike does go into Landorus this time, and unfortunately Ogerpon's going to get paralyzed. It is at 2% though, so I think just a swap so you don't heal it, and then Seismic Toss will probably close out the game here. So yeah, just that turn 1 to 2-ish. Would you see Spiky Shield coming out? Oh, it's not banded. Yeah, and Unseen Fist is going to pick up the KO anyway with the Protect. I think it's our second Urshifu Unseen Fist KO of the tournament, taking out Ursaluna Blood Moon last time, I believe, in 1 hit. But yeah, we shall go on to game 2 here. I think a better first turn is just needed for the Minnesota Mamoswine. That was really, really rough. Immediately losing your support and your main attacker turn 1. Yeah, that's going to be a little rough. They were bringing it back towards the end. If that was Bandit or Shifu or like Scarf or Shifu, it was definitely a lot more possible. Um, yeah, I wonder if like a lead switch. I see Zebstrika came, and we saw that Corviknight was pretty scary to deal with. So we do see Murkrow and Wellspring come out against Goldango and Corviknight again. So same leads this time, although I mean I'd still say it's pretty good against this team here. Corviknight, pressuring Ogerpon here to either Terra and get its embody aspect, or maybe like a spiky shield coming out. Murkrow's going to be able to set a Tailwind for free, or do something, I guess. I think like Murkrow's main move is what it has like knockoff or something, which I don't know if it gets. You see, Protect does come out as Rain Dance hits the field. Ivy Cudgel is going to go into the Protect, and Brave Bird is going to do quite a bit of damage to Ogerpon, but not quite picking up the KO. Um, I just realized something. Isn't that Goldango scarfed? Is it Scarf Protect? Oh. Well, I guess we'll see here next turn. Maybe we just have not max speed Pokemon on one side of the field. 'Cause it definitely went before Iron Crown. Let me double check that Iron Crown. It's definitely faster if you invest into its speed. Yeah, it looks like we might have a Scarf Protect Goldango. Even so, I mean, you did cancel a turn there. Now you're forced to swap around a little bit here. Your Ogerpon is in a bit of danger on the Minnesota Mamoswine side. But rain is up, so maybe it just goes for the Iron Cudgel. I forget exactly how much it did to Corviknight last time. I don't think it's going to pick up a KO. I think it did like 40 some ish. So with the 50% boost, it's just barely not going to pick up the KO. So we see a swap to Zebstrika and a swap to Chansey. So I'm thinking that might be Scarf and Braver going to go to Zebstrika, not doing nearly as much with the resist there. Tailwind coming up from Murkrow. So yeah, now Corviknight's in quite a bit of danger, and if they have Urshifu in the back here, it's not a really good swap either. If they brought like Gliscor or Flapple as their fourth, they have a pretty easy swap. But I mean, I feel like you bring Urshifu to at least most matches. I will say there is a lot of Pokemon that do counter Urshifu. Yeah, we see Thunder comes out. Yeah, that's gonna take out Corviknight in 1 hit. Braver doing very very little to Chansey. As it goes for Thunderwave. Now there is a Lightning Rod, Zebstrika on the field, so Thunderwave is going to activate that Lightning Rod. Thunderwave is an electric move, unfortunately. Oh, I also just saw that was a Terra electric, and Urshifu is going to hit the field now. Now we do know this Urshifu is Terra Water, so with Tailwind up, I think this is just another KO. Surprised they did not go into Goldango here. With that, special attack up, he could be Protect. We know it's not banded because it used two different moves last time, so could be a bit of a bait. Well, Chansey goes for something here. And the unfortunate thing is by stalling out, yeah, it's gonna be Terra Water into. I mean, I don't think the crit matter. I think Thunder would kill either way. Braver going to Chansey again. So it goes for Stealth Rock, gonna be damaging the last two swap-ins here. And Goldango is going to hit the field. Now, even being Choice Scarfed, you're still not going to outspeed a Zeb Striker, maybe even normally, but especially with Tailwind up. So yeah, in a much better position this game, the Minnesota Mamoswine are. Um, and yeah, Thunder's going to go, and it's going to actually pick up a one-hit KO on Goldango. As Zeb Striker just kind of sweeping this entire game with that special attack boost. Tailwind does run out, but nothing really stopping it from just going right back up again. Or it could see maybe like a Rain Dance, another Thunder. I mean, Chansey's a special tank. Yeah, we see Rain Dance Thunder is going to pick up the KO on Chansey, taking us to a game 3 scenario here. So yeah, I think the Uber Scoopers are gonna have to think about how they're going to deal with the Seb Striker. That I think it took out 4 Pokemon that match. So uh, they have an electric resist and an electric immunity on their team. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of them shows up. I feel like if you're the Minnesota Mamoswine, you just have to bring Zeb Striker. You saw just how good it was. You know they're probably going to adapt, but like, what if they don't? But yeah, so we'll see here. We see Lando T and Murkrow being the lead this time as Corviknight, so we're going to see a Mirror Armor. Um, so yeah, Lando's getting his attack dropped. Although there's two more supportive Pokemon on the field. I mean, I wouldn't actually call Corviknight supportive, but very bulky. Doesn't do a ton of damage. And now you have an attack drop Landorus, which we saw does very, very little to Chansey. Um, but yeah, I think this is a pretty free Tailwind, though. We know this Corviknight has Taunt, so we do see a swap into Goldango as Tailwind comes up. And we see U-Turn coming out. So going to be able to swap into their best counter to Goldango here. And that will be Ogerpon Wellspring, as Stealth Rock does hit the field turn 1 this time, so you're going to get a little more value out of that. But they do have the better positioning here with Marco Ogerpon Wellspring, although I don't know how much they do to Goldango. They're going to be able to get the hits off first. Rain is going to come up. Ivy Cudgel just barely not picking up the KO as Make It Rain is going to hit, doing quite a bit to both Pokemon here. And Seismic Toss will hit Ogerpon, doing a sizable chunk. So with Tailwind here, I mean, Goldango is unfortunately going to go down before it can do much, but it's done decent damage to both of the Pokemon here. With Rain being set up, if you have Urshifu as your fourth here, which we'll see if it is or not. We see Corviknight does come back out as Ivy Cudgel hits Chansey this time, doing quite a bit. Bravebird not doing nearly as much to Corviknight. Seismic Toss once again hits Ogerpon for. It didn't do more damage. No, it was 27 and 26. We'll say that's not how Seismic Toss works. So yeah, Chansey's probably going down this turn. Although I think it has shown Protect before. So yeah, I think that was a great swap into Corviknight here. They have one more turn of Tailwind, Corviknight. It doesn't like wall both the Pokemon here, but it doesn't take a ton. Zeb Striker, yep, coming out. So Ivy Cudgel does take out Chansey, unfortunately, and Bravebird will take out Ogerpon. Tailwind turns are done though. So, and Murkrow's dead to Stealth Rocks the next time it comes out. So this is actually just So 2v3 on the Minnesota Mamoswine side. I think Mamoswine might have refigured that one out, taking a bit of time to select the Pokemon here. Yeah, still good either way here though. If Urshifu is the last Pokemon, not like Gliscor or something, um, the the Minnesota Mammoths are in good shape. But like if Gliscor comes out here, it's pretty bad. We won't see it though. Mirror Arbor going to drop, unfortunately. Lander's stats again. Now Goldago, even with Choice Scarf, I believe is slower than Zebstrika. No, it'll get an attack off first unless there's any priority. So that's going to be really helpful for the Wooper Scoopers. So we'll see if maybe like another Make It Rain, possibly a Shadow Ball comes out. I also definitely see like a Terra on this Corviknight to live the Thunder. Well, we'll see what happens though. This Corviknight has been putting in some real work with that mirror armor ability. Cinderace has been intimidated itself most of the times it's been on the field. But yeah, all the Wooper Shooters have to do is just get around these two Pokemon. As yeah, Murkrow is just going to die to Stealth Rock here. You see Terra Electric come out. Terra Electric, Electro Web. But yeah, Miro is actually going to drop your own speed, so I'm unsure you wanted to do that. I wonder if they knew about that interaction. Yeah, Mirror Arbor is any stat drop. So Shifu Rapid Strike is going to hit the field. It is going to get intimidated though. But once again, yeah, your Landers is intimidated. But at that little HP, I think Urshifu is good to just go for a hit into Zebstrika, who's now slower than it. And do we see Terra Water? Surging Strikes is going to immediately take the KO on the first one. Electroweb's going to come up and pick up a double KO. Wow. Giving the Minnesota Mamoswine the win. That was a crazy last turn. Electroweb picked up the. I guess it is Terra Electric and not really especially tanky. Wow. And that's the game.